Well, Kabbalists in Israel, this one's to you. Obviously, you have a problem with teaching Kabbalah Maasit to real Jews. The problem here is, of course, if it's life or death matter, if somebody's going to try to kill you with Kabbalah Maasit, obviously you don't teach it. But when it comes to a real Jew, as the Torah says, if he asks you something on what the Torah says and you don't teach it to him, it says it's worse than killing him. The problem that I have, and I know deep down inside every other Jew has, is one, you make so many, you support so many past generation instituted, man added, not even traditions, like wearing tzitzit without wearing a four-cornered garment, and making it as if it's a law to do so when the Torah actually says only wear it when you're wearing four-cornered garments. The thing is, sure, the Ari said not to practice practical Kabbalah, which is Kabbalah Maasit, with an impure body, yada yada yada, because there's no temple. Where in the Torah does it say that? 2, if it's life or death, the Torah says there's only 3 things that you are not allowed to do. 1, which is idol worship. 2, adultery. 3, somewhat killing another person. Now, let me ask you something. When we have something called Kabbalah Maasit, practical Kabbalah, where you're able to do lots of miracles through it, especially defending your own life, especially when you're taking on radical Muslims who wish to kill anybody who doesn't have faith in their religion. As their religion says, kill the infidel. That's anybody who doesn't accept their religion. It says it out clear in their Quran. Obviously, Kabbalah Maasit would be very beneficial to whoop all their asses so easily, instead of sending, militants, forces, and shit like that. This is really a job for Israel, Honestly, forget America for a second. Forget all these other nations and stuff for a second when you're dealing with terrorism. We're Jews. We know how to handle this shit. This is a piece of cake. We have Kabbalah Maasit. Between us, we know what this is. We know how serious this is. Screw anyone's physical weapons. Kabbalah alone, and Kabbalah Maasit, by the way, is not with the bird Kabbalahs and all this bullshit in America. The real Kabbalah is really in Israel. And the few who have Kabbalah Maasit, like the students of Rav Kaduri, rest in peace, was a great man. Unlike his students, who refused to teach it, had I been in Israel at my age right now, asking Rav Kaduri what Kabbalah Maasit is and its teaching, he would have taught it to me. You know why? Because he could tell what a real Jew is. You, on the other hand, support past leaders who say that a man cannot marry more than one wife, for example. And we all know the Torah says that a man, a Jewish man, can't have 2 wives at the same time that are sisters. So what does that say about marrying more than one woman? It says in the commandments, the 613 commandments, a king cannot marry more than 18 women. Well, if you're so concerned about wasteful masturbation and shit, well, how many fucking lives, pardon my language, have you prevented from being born by supporting this shit? Huh? There's also a great leader who meant well in past generations. As the Torah says, the Shulchan Aruch, Code of Jewish Law, is that a Jew who commits a certain sin, when it's a sin, not when he can't control himself, like my mouth right now, pardon me, try to wash it out with soap later, maybe it'll satisfy you, Kabbalists, who said, there's a certain law, by the way, it says, if you have a certain Jew who's committing the same sin over and over and over, whatever, it says to humiliate him, embarrass them, curse at them, whatever it takes. And then comes along a very meaningful, a well-meaningful sage, you can call him, says this law doesn't apply today. Why did he say? He said because that most Jews don't know they're doing something wrong. I agree. I mean, if you persecute them for something they don't know, it's like threatening their lives, honestly. That's all they got. But to Jews who know, it doesn't apply there, buddies, I mean. I feel like I'm talking to one person because you all have each other's backs when you're all wrong. What the fuck, honestly. Pardon my language again. I just can't control myself with fools at this point, especially when they're Kabbalists, which should be sages at this time. Anyway, basically, the problem here is we have Kabbalah Maasit, and hell, I mean, we have the answer to destroy terrorism easily, but you, asswads, don't want to teach it. I mean, you teach it to people who probably are a waste of time, really. For example, like the Torah has many health, healing, Kabbalistic ways to cure yourselves and stuff. You say we're not going to do it because the Ari said it, not with an impure body. How exalted of you, seriously. Life or death situations, it's time to be exalted, huh? Well, I'm going to tell you something. The Torah prescribes all of these things for a reason. It's there to use. Most of you say, just learn Torah, pray to God, and that's it. Well, buddy, wrong. It's there for a reason, alright? You want to withhold information? And the Torah says it's worse than killing a man when you do so, when he's asking you to teach him what the Torah says. You've done this to me many times. I'm very patient with you guys. You know, I just want to tell you that there's something, sorry. I'm almost laughing at you. I guess that's what you want, right? There's something in the Torah that's called a person's faith level. I mean, sure, with a person's faith level, it's high enough. As it says, you know, faith levels are infinite. I honestly tried my best with you people, and you don't want to teach it, you know? Honestly, I don't like bullshit. I don't like terrorism and shit. I actually like, you know, using physical power, of course, you know, not violent or anything. Hopefully it doesn't get to it. You know, in self-defense, of course. But to use Kabbalah Maasit and destroy terrorism fairly quickly. Not just one man. I mean, maybe having an army of righteous people, you know, I'm sure I can tell who's who. You'd be surprised. And you still refuse to teach it because, you know, you look at me like I'm some kind of I don't know. I mean, you come into a synagogue, fine, a guy has muscles. Don't take him seriously, obviously, right? I mean, take a look at my face. Look into my eyes. Be a man. You don't want to take me seriously? I'm laughing inside of this whole situation. Hopefully my faith level will grant me my wish deep down inside for you Kabbalists to be put in your places, because you refuse to do the right thing. You refuse to teach. I mean, sure, we had a little deal going on. You were supposed to have my back on that, but you know what I'm talking about, whoever you are. Well, job is over, job well done. Where's the cures, right? Where's the cures for the entire Jewish nation? You know how to cure them. Practical Kabbalah, Kabbalah Maasit, you know how to cure them. People are sick and dying because of you. You guys better wake up, because there's serious judgment that's going to be passed. I mean, the Torah says for a reason that there are going to be no leaders who are qualified to lead before the coming of Mashiach. That they're all going to die is because of these things. Alright? I mean, just like the same rabbi who meant well with saying that this law doesn't apply, that's like adding or removing. Alright? You guys need to think about what you're doing. Adding, removing, whatever. Case closed. Think about it. It's God you're dealing with now.